As always, we talk a little more Eagles football with our linebacker, starting linebacker Nigel Bradham. Don't forget his weekly appearance from our good friends at Ernest's Auto Fashion Butcher Shop. Good Wheels quality used cars. Don't forget about Cash's Bakery and, of course, PhillySportsTrips.com. When their teams travel, they travel in droves. As we welcome in the starting linebacker, the Philadelphia Eagles, Nigel Bradham. Nigel, how are you, pal?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Again, it wasn't pretty. It doesn't always have to be pretty, but two fluky games, by the way, with the Giants this year. But you guys were able to make the stops late defensively. Let's get in, before we get into the offense, and I thought Foles played well, let's get into the elephant in the room here with this defense over the last several weeks.
Let's do that.
How do you explain, you go up against a team that basically has zero offensive weapons? I mean, the quarterback is still the quarterback, and he can make the throw. But, Eli was basically shredding you guys apart yesterday, taking apart that secondary. The pass rush wasn't there, and this is a team that came in averaging 15-16. They scored 29 and close to 500 yards of offense. What needs to be fixed with this defense right now? Yep, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What?
You had cut out at the end.
Okay, because I thought you were contemplating the answer. What needs?
No.
There was a pregnant pause. What needs to be fixed right now? Because you mentioned the last several weeks, things have to get cleaned up. But yesterday, listen, a rough day for McLeod. Still probably coming dealing with that injury. Mills as well. The secondary, they didn't play particularly well. But what are the things that have to get cleaned up right now? Because now this is a couple weeks in a row with the defense. All right, let's see if we can punch him up. See if we can fix that, Josh. Because, let's see if we can straighten that out. See if we can get us on our other end. We'll see if we can address that. I was waiting for the pregnant pause. I was waiting for the long answer from Nigel. It sounded like it was going to be a long answer. So we're gonna buzz him back. We'll see if we can get a better connecting line on that. But the thing is, when you look at this defense, certain things have to be addressed. Like I said, it's rare you have a game like this from Eli, over 400 yards. They weren't able to run the football. They just were not able to run the football yesterday. That's where the Philadelphia Eagles actually did a relatively good job. They actually held the rushing game in check. But you had Shepard, who had 11 for 139, and you had Ingram for 8 for 87. All right, let's see now. Let's see if we can punch Nigel back up. Nigel, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So we were talking about the defense. We know the stats yesterday with the Giants. What needs to be addressed and what needs to be fixed here going forward?
I mean, really, it was just, I think it was a lot of, we had bad eyes early on in the game. And we was playing off coverage. So we didn't really do what we needed to do to take away the quick game.
Yep.
And that was his answer. He was calling run plays, and he was just checking to RPOs, or what we call them.
Yep.
And he was just ripping it out there, throwing it, because we was playing off coverage. So obviously we made that adjustment, and we had to get it fixed. As far as the secondary, man, I think we'll be fine, man. We've been playing well all season. I mean, anybody can have a bad day at any time. Just a little. It could be anything. Tired, injuries, playing through certain things, and things like that. I mean, but we'll collaborate, man. Everybody's gonna challenge themselves, get the film on, and get that focus back and get that mentality back. Of shutting down everything.
It wasn't the defensive start you guys wanted, because the Giants, they can't move the ball. They were able to take the opening kickoff. They went right down the field. You guys scored. They come back, and they matched it touchdown for touchdown early on. So I'm curious, that's kind of an inauspicious start for you guys defensively, because you rarely find yourself behind in games.
Yeah, it was very rare for them to move the ball up and down like that. At first possession was touchdowns. So, I mean, those are things that obviously we got to fix. And the aspect of that is that you saw what it was. I mean, it was a quick game. You saw him making his checks, doing things that he normally does. And some of his guys was making plays. I mean, they had that one route. That was a pick route that went
Shepard play
for a touchdown on us. Yeah. So it was. They were. I mean, those guys aren't slouches either. I mean, Ingram is definitely got some good talent in him, and Shepard, we've always seen what he's able to do.
Shepard's had good success the last 2 years. I mean, he's a young kid, but in 4 games, he's played well against you guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fast receiver, a good shifty slot receiver. So he's I mean, he's not no slouch. I mean, when you put Odell Beckham on the outside of him, that even opens it up even more for him. So, but fortunately, we didn't have that situation.
Real quick, I want to ask you, though, go back to the Shepard touchdown on the crossing route. I know Gallman got the block downfield, but that was that Ellison? Because it did look like it was a pick play.
Yeah, well, I didn't even realize that the ball was right there till late, and then by the time I turned around, because Gallman had ran a wheel route on me.
Yes.
And by the time I turned around, he was like stacked right behind him, and they was running full speed. So I just turned around. I had to hit Gallman, obviously, and that knocked it off, and he just got that edge real fast, and we missed the tackle, and that's all that was.
Yeah, he was able to go down the sideline, and you're right. I mean, it was poor tackling. That's been the issue too, though. Let's be honest. We talked about it earlier in the year. You guys fundamentally sound from tackling. You go to the Rams game, I should say Seattle game, the Rams game, and then yesterday. That's just is that technique, or is that just out of position trying to make the highlight tackle, or just basically technique that can get cleaned up?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, I mean, we felt like that was.
Let's see if we can punch him up. Talking again, Nigel Bradham with his weekly spot right here at 105 on every Monday. Again, the Eagles with a big win yesterday against the Giants. On the road, 34-29. They improved to 12-2. 6-2 on the road. They got two more games to end the season, and then they'll look at home field advantage. So we'll see if we can punch Nigel up again and again. So go ahead, Nigel. You were talking about just the tackling, more or less technique.
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta, wrap up and things like that, man, and make sure you get that guy down in those situations. Obviously, he was able to get out of that and escape and make a big play. That's all it was, man. We felt like we should have had a call right there because we felt like it was an obvious big play, and it was more than 1 yard down the field. So. What
happened a couple plays? First of all, I got to ask you this on. I believe it was one close to second or last final drive. The second drive, you had another pick in your hands. That's now again. I gave you the pass last week. I got to get on you. You got to come up with that ball and close it out. You have to.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I don't even know, man. That's what I'm saying. No doubt, definitely got to close that.
You gonna hit the jugs machine this week or what?
You don't think I was on them already?
That should have been your punishment. Exactly. It's like a tip jar. You should get $100 out of your pocket. I believe you.
If you don't think I was on them after missing 2 the week before, you're crazy.
Nah, I know.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
What about I thought it was getting a little chirpy there with Shepard and Malcolm, and then the play with you and Vereen. I guess trying to stall a little bit, kill some clock. But again, you listen. He got in your face. He's got to know better as a veteran. But you also have to know, no matter what, anytime as a second guy, he's going to get caught. Is that just the heat of the moment? Things like that happen, but it got a little chippy late in that game.
Yeah, it was chippy. I mean, it's the Eagles Giants. That's how it is, man. It's a rivalry game. It's guaranteed to be chippy. Because it's real feud in that game, man, and it's real. We competitors at the end of the day. Obviously, with my situation, that was a mistake I made. Obviously, I don't even normally get those type things, but I saw the ref saw what he did to me, and the ref didn't do anything. So.
Yeah, if anything, it's like you would just deem it offsetting penalties.
Respect.
Yeah,
like that's one thing you gonna get. Like one thing about our defense, we demand our respect. Like, and that's why you see those type of plays. Like you gonna see, like you might see that because we're so competitive,
right?
And we at the same time we demanding our respect. So, if it gets to that point, then it gets to that point. But we're not trying to initiate that. That's not what we're out there trying to do. Obviously, we're just out there trying to play good defense and win.
Were you guys getting ripped on the sideline early on by Coach Schwartz? Because he's pretty fiery and animated.
Obviously he is fiery, but everybody saw what was going on. We saw what was going on. We just had to make those adjustments, man. Obviously, we knew we was a better team. Obviously, we wasn't having our best day. Those guys came. They had some good plays for us. They had a good little game plan or whatnot, man, and they really came out early and was really attacking us and just finding holes in our defense. And that's all it was.
How about offensively? You know, Nick comes in, tough spot. I didn't think a lot of people had to worry. He was comfortable back in the pocket, tosses 4 touchdown passes. Again, the confidence that offense can take away now, where they feel, okay, now we got something going. You know, you almost like don't miss a beat. But I thought he played. I know he missed a couple throws, he had a couple drops, but I thought in those circumstances, in that situation, he played extremely well yesterday.
Oh yeah, he played tremendously well, man. That's what something we knew he could do. Like I told you last week, man, we had all the confidence in Nick. And I told you he was gonna keep our offense efficient. Like I already knew that. Like we knew that. Like so everybody else was worried, but we had so much confidence in him by just seeing him all through this whole season since training camp, man. He's been dominating.
Yeah, he played well. You got Burton into the mix. Nelson came up with some big plays. I'm sure you guys wanted to run the ball a little more, but I think that balance will figure itself out going forward. You got Oakland. You got the Raiders that played last night against Dallas. I know you watched that game. You got Dallas to close out the season. They need a lot of help. But again, as you mentioned last week and the previous week, you know, the goal shouldn't change. You see Minnesota win, so you guys are right there. You already know you're going to get a first-round bye. You're going to get one home playoff game, but you know, you guys got to finish strong now the last 2 weeks. I mean, like we talked about, home field advantage is key. It's critical.
Yeah, it's huge for us, and especially for us. I mean, we're a team that plays really well at home. With our crowd and what they can do to offenses is unbelievable on third down, how loud it gets in the league, man. And we really just focused on Oakland right now. I mean, when we get to Dallas, we'll get there. But they both got to come to Philly, and at the end of the day, that's the thing, man. You got to come here, and we're trying to make everybody come here. That's why we're trying to get this one. We got to get this big win against Oakland, so we can get that whole home field advantage and make everybody come to Philadelphia.
Did you watch the Dallas and Oakland game last night?
Of course.
What what did you think about the? Without getting you in trouble. You know where I'm going. You ever see that before on the field? I'm not going to get you fined. I'm going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. But that's kind of a bizarre situation there when a referee pulls out a little index card. Is it not? Yeah,
that was obviously the first I think anybody ever seen. But it was interesting, man. I don't know. I don't even want to speak on that.
You know what? I'm not going to get you in trouble. Listen, because I already know it's a contract year. You're most likely you're going to get paid, so you can take care of the fine. I don't want to get you in trouble, but yeah, that was pretty bizarre. But you see, Dallas, they're going to get Elliott back, so I know not looking ahead, they still have some playmakers. They might be playing for their playoff lives. Oakland's going to try to spoil the party a little bit as well. So you got 2 games where you're still going to be tested to close out the season.
Yeah, and it's a must-win for us at the same time. So we know we're going to get every team's best, man. That's what we've been getting the whole season, every team's best, because we've been out in front. We've been the #1 team in the league for a while now. Everybody's been giving us their best shot, their best game plans, and really treating us like a playoff game. So, I mean, we just going to keep it going, man, keep staying focused and focusing on us and doing what we're doing, being able to close out these games is huge. I mean, every game ain't gonna be pretty. We can't blow out everybody.
Right.
And even though I would like that, I ain't gonna lie, I would like that. But as long as we win the close ones, man, at the end of the day, and we get that win, and we show that we know how to win those close games.
Yeah.
I think that's huge for us.
Well, I'm sure you're going to put in more work this week with the Chucks machine.
Yeah, I got to close, man. I can't.
And I say that tongue-in-cheek, but you know this. Here's the thing. We can laugh about it now because you guys are 12-2 and you're in the playoffs. A playoff game, though, last possession, you got to, I mean, you got to come up with that.
I got to do that, man. You're talking about.
I'm just saying.
Man, come on.
I know.
That's what, 3 tubs?
That's 3.
Tubs.
I'm taking it easy on you. I gave you a pass last week. You should have had 4. I know.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
It's a good thing. Let me tell you something. It's a good thing if you had, contract-wise, incentive-laced, if you had 4 or 5 interceptions, you'd be in trouble, my friend.
No, they would be in trouble. I wouldn't be in trouble.
All right. Listen. All right, listen. Appreciate it. Congrats on the win. Have a good Christmas. Have a good holiday. We'll talk next Tuesday, pal. Best of luck against Oakland.
All right, thanks, man. Happy holidays.
You got it. Take care of yourself. All right, Nigel Bradham, Eagles linebacker.